Hi and welcome to Polly Puts the Colour On. In this video I'm going to be sharing my first thoughts of these Swisscolor Aquarelle pencils by Caran and doing a quick little comparison between them and the Supracolor 2 Softs that are also by Caran. Now the reason that I kind of bought these, we were wandering around town, my phone was in for repair, so we had a bit of time to kill, and we went into like this kind of catalogue clearance kind of store. So they have all sorts of different things. You never know what's going to be in there. Had a wander in, went into the art supply section, and they had these. It was the last pack. They were only £7. So my daughter did a quick little look on her phone for me because obviously mine was in for repair, and we found that we couldn't find these on Amazon in the cardboard packet. I mean, obviously this pack isn't going to last very long. I'm going to take them out and pop them into a pot or something, but we did find the 18 set, looks like the same colours, in a tin, and in the tin they're kind of around £17 on Amazon, and these were obviously only £7, so massive discount. I'm guessing maybe this is why they ended up in this clearance shop, because they were in the cardboard packaging. I'm not too sure, but anyway, I thought can't resist a bargain. So it's quite interesting, you know, kind of range of colours, because the only Supracolor 2 Softs that I've got are these ones here. So as you see, it's quite a limited colour palette. Kind of bought them with a view to kind of supplementing my Inktense colours with some kind of more muted kind of unusual shades of like greens and the kind of peachy colours. And then this, it's not quite brown, but it's not quite grey. It's a really pretty colour. So I thought it'd be interesting to see how well the pigment dissolves when we add water for these pencils as compared to these, because an 18 set of these, obviously not these exact colours, kind of they're a bit more compared to these, but in the Supracolor 2s on Amazon, for the Supracolor 2s for 18 pencils, they're like £34. So when you think that the Swisscolor set on Amazon are about 17, massive difference in price. So I thought it'd be interesting to see if there's a massive difference in the quantity. So let me just move my Supracolor 2s out of the way a little bit. See, obviously the cardboard packaging isn't up to much. It's not going to last very long, but you know, you don't expect it to. And I'd rather pay a bit less for something, you know, and get it in a cardboard packet that can be recycled than ending up with a tin that I'm probably not going to keep anyway. Most of the time I don't keep my pencil tins, take my pencils out and put them into pots or into, you know, pencil cases with the little slots. So as you can see here, it's quite a nice range of colours, few greens, few blues, yellows, like a little pinky peachy kind of colour. Don't think I'll end up using the white. I can't see me using the white for it, to be honest, because I'll just put less pencil down if I want a lighter colour, but we'll see. So I'll just swatch the first couple out, and I'll do the activating with you. So let me just, I thought I've got this piece of cardboard. To be honest, I'm not sure where I've had this white cardboard from. Seem to have had it for ages. It's relatively thick. It's obviously not really going to be a good comparison to an adult colouring book, but obviously all adult colouring books have got different paper anyway. So I thought if I do some of the Supracolor 2s this side and then these Swisscolor ones on this side, because these seem more like kind of the student grade version by Caran. I thought it'd be interesting to see how they compare. So going on, they feel quite nice. They're a little bit thinner to hold. Don't know whether it's going to pick it up too much on the camera. Yes, you can just about see. So the Supracolor 2s, obviously they are coated on the end and they are a little bit chunkier. They're the same shape, very slightly chunkier on those ones as compared to the Swisscolor ones, but they feel quite nice. You know, they're not feeling too scratchy, not having to press particularly hard, and it's getting quite a good lay down of the colour. So I'll just do couple, in fact actually let me do them all on camera and I just won't talk, and then we might be able to speed this bit up. Right, so now we can see I've got all 18 of these down. I did put a little bit of the white on, although, I mean, see, it's not showing up. This card's kind of slightly off-white, not quite cream, but I know there's pencil there. Now, I won't do all of the Supracolor 2s because obviously colour-wise, it's not really going to be much of a comparison. Not really got many colours in these that are kind of going to compare to these. But I'll do a few so that we can just compare how well these dissolve and, you know, how well the pigment activates when I add some water to them. They kind of feel very similar, putting them down on the card, very slightly creamier, I would say, for these, which you would imagine that you would be able to feel the difference because, like I say, there is a massive difference in the price. But I thought it'd be interesting to see how well these are as kind of a budget or slightly more budget way compared to the Supracolor 2s. So let me just do a couple of these brighter ones. And maybe one of these darker green ones, and that green as well, just to finish that row off. There we go. So see that it feels kind of very similar going down on the paper. It looks very similar at the moment, but obviously we all know with these water soluble pencils the magic kind of happens when you add the water. So here I promise it is clean, it's just obviously a little bit stained, the brush now, because I've been obviously using it for a while, but it is nice and clean. The writing's a little bit worn off now, but it is one of the Arteza water brushes. I do really like these ones. It's got the nice push barrel. It's a decent size. Have had the Derwent ones in the past and they work really well, but I managed to get on eBay. Again, if you've watched my recent haul video, you'll know that I love an eBay bargain. Managed to get a pack with, I can't remember how many was in it, but there was quite a few Arteza water brushes. Somebody was having a clear out, never even used them, you know, they're brand new still in the packaging, and got them for a fraction of the price that they would have been for new. And to be honest, I don't think I'm ever going to need to buy any more water brushes because I've not had to throw any away yet. So let me just get this activated just off to the side a bit. Here we go. So let me start to get some activated. So see straight away it is going really nicely and it's still really pigmented. I do have the Arteza watercolor pencils and I always find when by the time I've activated them they turn out far lighter than what I'm expecting unless I put loads and loads of pencil down on the paper. But actually these come up really well and I can't see any pencil lines on that. Obviously it is on decent card, but I'll keep going and we'll see how well all of the other colours activate as well. So every time I move off camera, that'll just be when I'm cleaning my brush so that you don't see the bit of kitchen paper that I'm cleaning it on, because it is probably needs changing, to be honest, but I always feel like it seems a bit of a waste to keep getting a fresh piece of paper when all I'm doing is putting the pigment on. Oh wow, this red's lovely and bright. Perhaps should have spaced my swatches out a little bit more, but it's going to do the job. Oh, so this one is definitely a lot lighter. So this is doing a bit more like how my Arteza watercolor pencils do, but it's still a really pretty color, nice and pale. This one's activating again really nicely. I've not got loads of pencil lines or anything left. It's not being stubborn. It's spreading out really nicely over here. So I'm really impressed with these for the price. Like I say, I think actually these are doing better than my Arteza watercolor pencils. I've got the big, I think it might be 100 set, 120 set. It's quite a big set anyway for the watercolor pencils by Arteza. The only watercolor pencils I've got other than the Caran 2 ones. I have to say, I'm not sure if I ever do get through the Arteza watercolor pencils. I'm not sure if I've replaced them. I do wonder whether I'd perhaps invest in more of the Supracolor 2s, or you know, some other brand, try one of the slightly more premium ones. just not that impressed with the Arteza ones, but I got them for a good price and I'm still pleased to have them, still happy to use them. I just know that they do get a lighter effect, which I suppose with watercolour pencils you are meant to, aren't you? They're not like going to perform like intense pencils that come out really dark and pigmented, don't they? Get a much bolder finish with them. But yeah, I always think with the Arteza watercolour pencils, sometimes can end up looking a little bit washed out, and I don't want to do 2 coats because else I'm putting loads of water onto the paper, and then obviously that can be a whole thing, can't it, damaging your colouring pages. Yeah, this one's going quite nicely too. So yeah, it looks like all of the colours, you can see maybe slightly over here there's still a few pencil lines, but I think that's probably more to do with the texture of the card. I think if it was on an actual colouring page, I'm not sure as you'd get that, to be honest. I mean, I might be wrong. I'll let you know perhaps in an upcoming colouring pages video or something when I've actually used them in colouring books and see how they perform kind of long term. But as a first impressions, I am really quite pleased with these. It's a lovely range of colours there. That red is far brighter than I was expecting it to be. It's really nice. I love purple. Actually, that's quite a pretty colour as well. That could even be, if you did it quite light, that could maybe a nice base for kind of the skin perhaps. I'm not very confident on doing skin, so that might be a way of me getting a little bit of colour down. I don't tend to do portraits. It tends to be maybe like the little people, the little characters in like the Eerie books. But nice, lovely range of colours there. Oh, let me just do the activate the white, although I mean, literally I can't even see it and I'm right in front of it, but it has dissolved. You'll have to take my word for it. It has dissolved. On the off chance you're wanting a white watercolour pencil, that might be useful. So let me just dissolve these ones, get these ones activated, and see how these perform. Obviously it's not going to be a comparison of the actual colours because obviously these are very different colours in my Supracolor 2s compared to the Swisscolor ones, but do you know what, they are activating very much the same. Again, still not got the pencil lines, still getting a nice colour payoff, but actually they're activating in a very, very similar way. So it did feel a little bit nicer maybe to hold in your hands because there's a slightly nicer coating on the barrel, and they are slightly chunkier to hold, the Supracolor 2s. But actually, they're activating just the same. I think they're both activating lovely. So I think the Swiss colours are definitely going to be a good addition to my colouring supplies. And I think with it being a nice little set, let's maybe pop in a pot and keep on my desk rather than popping away in a larger pencil case on a shelf. So it might be useful to have a nice little set just with a limited range of colours. So yeah, you can see even on these Supracolor 2s, there's still the very slight pencil lines on them that you've got on them. So I think it's very much to do with the card rather than how they activate, because I know I've used the Supracolor 2s in books and they've always worked beautifully. So I think actually they're very, very comparable. I would say I can't notice a massive difference really in the quality between these and these. Yes, these look a little bit more premium. They've got the coating on the end. They do feel a little bit nicer in the hand, and they have got colour name on there as well as numbers, because obviously there's I'm guessing from a quick look online that there's a much bigger range in the Supracolor 2s, and on these ones there isn't. It just says Swisscolor Caran Swiss made. Doesn't say anything to do with the colours, but if I'm only having this 18 set, I'm going to be able to tell from my swatch which pencil's which. I mean, there's the bright yellow and the pale yellow. I can tell the difference just from looking at them. So to me, that doesn't matter for the rate. I'm not going to buy any more of these, but for a nice little set of 18 to keep on my desk if I'm wanting to do any quick basing of pages, just to get a bit of colour, you know, on the larger areas, just to get me started, I think actually these are a bargain, to be honest. So I would definitely recommend them. I will add an Amazon affiliate link down below. I will put a link to both sets just so that you know, you could have a look for yourself out of interest, see the difference in the price between 18 Supracolor 2s and then the 18 Swisscolors. Like I said, I couldn't find this set in the cardboard packet on Amazon. I could only find the ones in the tin, but it looks to be exactly the same colour. So I'm guessing perhaps this is why it ended up in this catalogue kind of discount store, because maybe the cardboard packet, you know, version has been discontinued now. But I'm really pleased to have these. So thank you for listening. It'd be lovely to hear from you in the comments below if you've got the Supracolor 2s or the Swisscolors, what your thoughts are, if you think the same as me or if you think differently. So take care everyone, and catch you in the next one.